Shoot. Oh, all right. I guess we're going now. I hit the button too early. So whatever. We're back. We're here. We're ready. We're doing a little bit of a. I think we're gonna do this weekly. We're doing fantasy football. Not really fantasy. Gambling football picks. We're gonna go through the spread this week. See who's favorited, who's not favorited. We're gonna give our picks. We'll keep track of it all season. See who's doing the best. So essentially what we'll do, I'll read off the game, read off what the point spread is, and we're each going to pick which team we are. Sometimes we'll pick the same team. Probably most times we'll pick opposite teams. We'll see how we do here.
Well, I mean, there's some matchups that, like, if you pick the other team, you're just dumb. So obviously we're going to pick the same teams a couple of times, but we're going to try to make it so that we're picking different teams, but you never know.
Yeah, for sure. So let's start with the Thursday nighter. We got the New York Giants, who are being given 3.5 points, and the Washington football team, who are favored at minus 3.5. So who are you taking here?
I got the Giants, but yeah, I got the Giants. Obviously, if you're going the point spread style, then I think that you take the Giants. If you're going like a pro line, like you're picking just straight up winner, definitely go with a tie, because I don't think this is a game that's going to be above a 4-point lead. How about you?
The Giants aren't very good. Now, Washington didn't look great last week, but 3.5, the Giants are being given 3.5 points here. I think Washington's going to win by a touchdown. So I'm actually going to take Washington on this one. I just don't think this is a game that's decided by a field goal and a safety or something like that. So yeah, I'm definitely going to take Washington on this one.
I think this game, honestly, I think this game has field goal written all over it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you know what? It might do, and that's why the line's at 3.5.
No, 100%. 100%.
Next up, we're going to go into our Sunday games, starting with the 1:00 games. We got the Buffalo Bills versus the Miami Dolphins. Buffalo is 3-point favorites. So you got Buffalo at minus 3.5 or Miami at plus, not 3.5, sorry. Buffalo at -3 or Miami at +3. Who are you taking on this one?
I so badly want to take Miami because I just feel like they're the up and coming team in that division, as well as the Buffalo Bills. But I feel like the Buffalo Bills have already kind of like proven themselves. Mm-hmm. But I gotta go with the Bills here, just because of how the powerhouse they're becoming. And I don't think the Dolphins, after only squeezing out a win against the Patriots by 1 point last week, I don't think they're gonna get a touchdown win against the Bills. So
yeah, I'm taking the
Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills in this one too. I think Josh Allen and all those guys, Stephon Diggs especially, they're gonna be pissed off from last week that they got shown up. So I'll take the Bills. I think giving them 3 points is giving Miami 3 points. It's not the biggest spread in the world, but I think it's enough that Buffalo can actually pull this off. Next game we got Cincinnati Bengals, Chicago Bears. Bengals are being given 2.5 points. The Bears are actually favored in this 2.5. Who are you taking?
I got the Bengals, man. The Bengals looked really good last week. I think Burrows has something to prove with like getting injured last year. I don't know. I'm going with Cincinnati on this one. They just look good. I know that the Bengals have kind of been the joke of the league the last couple of years, but yeah, the Bengals look good. I'm taking the Bengals, and the Bears are going to be the Bears. So.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals on this one too. I thought this was an odd one. I thought the Bengals would actually be favored. I'm talking about just covering the spread here. This might be a 1-point game. This could be a 2-point game. The spread's 2.5. I'm going to take the Bengals on this. The Bears 2.5 points. Maybe they win by a field goal whatever. We were off by half a point. I think I like the Bengals to win this game straight up, to be honest. I think they can beat the Bears. Like you said, Joe Burrow's got something to prove. And he looked half decent last week too. I was impressed by him.
No, 100%. And it's always good to see a young quarterback in his sophomore year throwing the ball and looking good, but it's even better to see him coming off an injury and doing the same thing. So
100%. Next up, we got the Denver Broncos at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Broncos, this one is one of the bigger spreads this week, but not as big as the next one. The Jaguars are being given 6 points, so the Broncos are favored at -6. Jaguars are at +6. Who are you taking on this one?
The AEW fan to me is going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars, just because I feel like Trevor Lawrence it's going to be a shootout game. Let's be honest. I feel like this is a game that could easily be a 30-30 game. And I think that Trevor Lawrence is the kind of guy who's going to get 4 touchdowns a game here because they're going to let him throw it. So why not? Why not take Jacksonville?
I'm going to take the Broncos on this one. I think last week for Trevor Lawrence was a flash in the pan. I didn't like he looked good, but everybody looks decent in their first game because they're the adrenaline's going. They're just playing off of instinct. Now they're settled in. They've got a week of footage on them. I think the Broncos are going to be able to adjust and cause some panic on this guy. Yeah, I'm going to take the Broncos on this one at -6.
No, I like it. I like it. I can't argue it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I feel like out of any of these games, I feel like we could both agree that this is that one game that you don't really know who's going to win, even though you probably know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So this next one's interesting because I hate when spreads are this big, but you got the Houston Texans at the Cleveland Browns. Um, Houston is being given 13.5 points, so they're pretty much being given 2 touchdowns on this. Cleveland is the heavy favorites in this one. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this.
I so badly want to take Cleveland because obviously they're saying something by giving the Houston 12.5 points.
That's
But
such a big spread, though.
100%, but it's one of those things that where if we watched the Houston game last week and they put up points.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it was against the Jaguars, but they put up points, isn't it? If you're putting up 30 points against an NFL team, it's still legit no matter how you slice it.
Mm-hmm.
So, part of me wants to take Houston against the spread, but I'm gonna go with Cleveland because clearly they're sending us a message by giving the 12.5 point spread. So Cleveland for me.
Whenever I see a spread this big, I usually bet on the dog because like 80% of the time it works out that the dog is able to cover a double point spread. This is a real tough one on this one. Texans, they're not supposed to have a great year. I was surprised they won last week. Is that their one win of the year? Who knows? Could they squeeze one out against Cleveland and win? Probably not. Could they cover the spread? I think they could. However, I think Baker Mayfield and the Browns are on a mission this year to prove a point that they are no longer the Cleveland Browns of the past. They almost beat Kansas City last week.
Give me the Browns. Beat Kansas City last week.
Give me the Browns this week.
I like it.
At plus 13.5. I can't believe I'm making that bet, but that's what I'm doing. Next up, we got the Raiders at the Steelers. Steelers favorited by 5.5 points, so they're giving the Raiders 5.5 here. Who do you have?
I got the Raiders.
Okay.
I don't think Pittsburgh's offense strikes quick enough, and I think the Raiders' offense is going to be able to put up 14 points if you let them. Mm-hmm. I know Steelers D is if let's be honest, if the Steelers make it to the Super Bowl this year, it's going to be because of their defense. Their
100%.
defense is easily top 5 in the league. You could say top 3, but at the same time, a struggling offense gives the other offense confidence, and I feel like you shouldn't be giving extra confidence to an offense like the Vegas Raiders. But I don't know. I got Vegas here.
Fun side note, on this website I have, they have it written like the game is Las Vegas Raiders at Pittsburgh Steelers, but then on the bet slip it has Oakland Raiders still. That threw me off a little bit there.
Honestly, I just said the Vegas Raiders and it felt so weird to me.
Yeah, no, it still says Oakland on this website, which is weird.
It's still Oakland to me.
Yeah, so sorry, who are you taking there?
I got the Raiders.
Raiders, so yeah, I'm going to take the Raiders as well. Pittsburgh's going to start slow. Big Ben, he looked really slow in the first half against Buffalo last week. That was the game I was watching because I'm a massive Bills fan. If the Raiders strike early and quickly, Pittsburgh's going to have to climb up a hill, and 5.5 is one of those spreads where it's like, you know what, you could come back and win the game, but will it be by more than 5.5 points? Who knows? I think this is going to be a field goal game, so I'm going to take the Raiders on this one.
Yeah, this is definitely, if this is for my betting recommendation for anybody listening, would be definitely if you're playing with the pro line, take the tie game on this one because I feel like it's going to be a field goal to win it.
100%. Next up, we got the Rams at the Colts. The Rams are being favorited by 3.5 points. The Colts are being given 3.5. Who's your pick on this one?
I gotta go with the Colts, man. I don't know. For some reason, as a Patriots fan, I've always had to hate them in a way for that weird reason, just because the Manning Brady thing. But over the last couple of years, watching the Colts, I just have this weird appreciation for them, and I just feel like I really enjoy their offense, and I feel like when it clicks, it clicks. And I feel like this against a team like the Rams, I feel like in that 4-point spread, I definitely feel like the Colts are gonna definitely cover that.
I gotta take the Rams on this one. Not Jared Goff. Matt Stafford's going to have something to prove here. He wants to show that he's still around, still hanging around. I think he's going to throw a couple touchdowns. I don't think the Colts are going to be able to keep up, so I'm going to take the Rams on this one.
I don't blame you for sure.
And who knows? Maybe they do. Maybe it doesn't happen. That's the whole point of gambling, right? Next up, we got the Saints at the Panthers. The Saints are favored by 3 points. This is a field goal game on the sheet. Who you got, Saints -3 or Panthers +3?
I'm rolling with the Saints, man. I'll be honest with you. I was someone who was absolutely shocked with what that Saints team did to the Packers.
Yeah.
They look great.
Hang on, no. Aaron Rodgers did that to the Packers.
I agree with that. But at the same time, did you expect a team that just lost their starting quarterback of the last 10, 12 years and put up 31 points against the Packers without a number one quarterback on their team? It was insane. I did not expect it. I actually had the Packers D on my fantasy team, and they gave me a -5. So,
oh no.
Yeah, I'm going with the Saints on this one. Just rolling with the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with the Saints on this one too. You explained it pretty well, so we'll go with that. I just realized I skipped a game, so let's take a step back here, and we're going to go to the Patriots at the Jets. Who you got here? I guess I should read you the line, eh? The Pats are favored by 6 points. They're giving the Jets 6 points here. Who you got?
So this is gonna sound funny as a Patriots fan. I got the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
Covering the spread because I think the Patriots are going to win by a field goal. So I'm going to go with the Jets on this one.
I like it. I'm actually going to take the Patriots on this. I don't think the Jets quite have it yet. I think Mac Jones is really going to shine in this game. Again, he's also going against another rookie quarterback, so we'll see what happens here. It's going to be a fun game to watch, but I think the Patriots kind of break out here. They looked good last week, man. They just weren't able to finish everything together. So I'll take the Pats here.
I like it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Next up, we've done that one. We got the 49ers at the Eagles. 49ers favored by a field goal. Eagles are being given a field goal. Who you got here?
The Eagles impressed me last week, but I think they're going to kind of fall back to earth this week. And I think that the San Francisco 49ers are going to blow them out. That's my prediction for this week. I honestly think that the San Francisco 49ers are going to win by 12, 13 points.
Yeah, so I have on my prep sheet here, I wrote 49ers and then in big letters blowout. So
yeah.
I wrote that too. Next up, we have another massive spread. We have the Buccaneers hosting the Atlanta Falcons. Tampa Bay being favored by 12.5. Who are you taking here? And I hate these big spreads, man. I think it's so tough to call.
I definitely agree with you, but I don't think this is one of them that you can include in that situation. I think that the Bucs are favored by 12.5 for a reason, and I think they're going to easily win by 12.5, if not 20 to 21 points. The Falcons are bad, man. Let's be honest. Matt Ryan has nobody to throw to. He has no offensive line. It's bad, man. It's getting bad in Atlanta.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's got nothing to throw to, like you said. The Falcons got nothing. I think Tom Brady's going to want to kind of prove a point this week, and he's going to go off for 4 or 5 touchdowns where he's throwing it from 30, 40, 50 yards to the end zone just to prove a point hey, I'm still here, I'm still around, after maybe people are questioning him after last week's performance. So I'll take Tampa Bay here to blow out the Falcons as well.
Yep. I like it.
But we got some good games this week, eh?
No, I think the 1 o'clock games, it sucks though, because I feel like this week it's too loaded at 1 o'clock. There's so many games where it's a red zone week for sure. I know Brandon hates it, but it's a red zone week.
100%. Next up, we got the Minnesota Vikings being hosted by the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals favored by 3.5. Who are you taking here?
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals. They looked good last week. I think they're a team that can get out to a 2-possession lead really quick, and I think they could just keep building on top of it. And I think Kyler has something to prove, that he wants to prove to somebody, like to everybody actually, that they're not just a 1 week team, and it's not just a flash in the pan type of thing. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm taking the Cardinals here too. Minnesota, I'm not buying what they're selling. I don't know why. I just didn't like what they had last week. They looked kind of
No, yeah, it didn't seem legit.
yeah, uncoordinated, kind of a
Yep.
flash in the pan. So I'll take Arizona here. I think they're winning by a touchdown to 10 points, especially on this game. So
Yep,
yeah,
I
I'll
like it.
take Arizona as well. And then next up, we have the Dallas Cowboys being hosted by the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers favorited by again 3.5 points. So you take it here.
I got Dallas. They looked good last week.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense didn't quite look good. I know that they obviously gave Tom Brady the last possession, last minute, and that's not something you do when you have Tom Brady on the other side of the field. But yeah, I got Dallas here. I definitely think they can easily cover that 3-point spread, and it's definitely a team that could easily win by 2 possessions, if not just a touchdown.
I think Dallas, their game last week, that was the best they could play and the perfect game for them. I don't think they can repeat that 2 weeks in a row. And I think LA might not accidentally, but like LA may tee off on them this week. So I got to take the Chargers.
And another tidbit about Dallas's defense, they just lost Demarcus Lawrence. I don't know if I'm saying that name correct, but it's one of their top defensive players, and they just lost him to a broken foot. So
Interesting. All right. So that's
yeah,
another wrinkle. Next up, we got the Tennessee Titans being hosted by the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks favored by 5.5 points. I think I know who you're taking here, but who are you taking?
I got Tennessee.
Yeah. Oh, what? Okay.
Yeah, I think they have something to prove. To be honest with you, like they came out really flat last week. I think they're a top team. I think everybody expects them to be a team that's in the Final Four this year. At least I do. I don't know about you, but I don't know. I think they have the weapons. I think the weapons need to execute, and I think that this is a bounce back game for Ryan Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and the Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Seahawks. I think they're going to absolutely blow these guys out. I didn't like what the Titans had last week. I don't think they're a team that people need to fear. I just when I see them play, like even on the money line, they're 3-1. I
Yeah,
I I I would be shocked if they won this game. I'm taking the Seahawks even with being 5.5 point 5.5 point favorites. Got to spit that one out. So yeah, I'm taking the Seahawks on this one.
no, I can't argue that one.
Next up, we have probably one of the more interesting games of the week, just because of the point spread and what Baltimore did in the Monday Nighter. We have the Kansas City Chiefs favored by 4 points. Now, it's only 4 points against Baltimore Ravens. I want to hear your thoughts on this one.
I'm confused by this one. I
So am
don't
I,
think I don't think Baltimore is that good, but I think they definitely shocked people last week with how they played, at least offensively.
but they were
But
good and then they were awful. And
no,
then they were good
100%.
again. Like
And then a team that gave up 30 plus points. It's interesting to see them only being that, like they're given 4 points
yeah.
to the Chiefs, which is a team that could easily put up 40 against them.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting. Obviously, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs here just because they're the clear favorite. But I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore took it. I wouldn't call you an idiot. I wouldn't call you stupid if you took Baltimore. But
Yeah.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
This is one of those ones where I read the line and like, does Vegas know something that we don't know? Because it's such an odd point spread, like 4 points. I thought this would be way higher. I thought this would be up around 7, 8, 9 points, maybe an 8.5 point game. But it's 4, and it stayed at 4.
Mhm.
It opened at 3.5 and it went up to 4. That usually happens. You usually see a half-point movement. I gotta take the Chiefs though, man. Like I think they're gonna blow
You
the
have to.
Ravens out of the water. You gotta. I don't think this is a field goal game. Pat Mahomes is gonna want to tee off against Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, could he show up and ball? Sure. But the odds of that happening, it's not worth the payout. Also, if you take KC at -4, it's paying 2.03 against
Mhm.
Baltimore's 1.80. So
Mhm.
I gotta take KC here too. This is was
And
more.
I mean, let's
It's
be
such a
honest. When
confusing pick.
No, let's be honest. When Lamar Jackson when you put Lamar Jackson in a situation where he needs to perform, he doesn't. So this
Mhm.
is one of those games where he needs to perform, he needs to bounce back, and he won't because Lamar Jackson isn't a top quarterback in this league. I don't care what anybody says. And yeah, it's Kansas City all day.
100%. And then we got the Monday nighter, Green Bay versus the Lions. The Lions are dog shit, but the Packers appear to be dog shit as well this year. Maybe. Um. Uh yeah. This point spread's going to be wrong by the time you hear this, but because it's changing like hourly. But right now the Packers are favorited by 11 points, so they're giving the Lions 11 points. Who you taking here?
I got the Lions.
I also have the Lions.
The Packers are winning this game. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, or at least I think they're winning this game. I don't think you could easily say I don't think you can say anything's guaranteed when it comes to Aaron Rodgers and the Packers right now.
I don't care about this game. I care about my bet.
No, 100%. So I think this is the closest thing to guaranteed. But I just think that the Detroit Lions are not losing by 11 points because they have the ability to put up points. They put up points last week. The Packers defense gave up points last week, so this has a stupid shootout written all over it. But it has the Lions covering the spread for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, is Aaron Rodgers sabotaging his own team? I guess we'll find out this week when they play the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, 100%.
So just a quick review. Thursday nighter, Giants at Washington. I'm taking the Giants. No, you're not. Let's start that again. Thursday nighter, you have the Giants. I have Washington. Buffalo at Miami. We're both taking the Bills. Cincinnati at Chicago. We're both taking... No, we're not. You're taking the Bengals. I'm taking the Bears. Denver at Jacksonville. You're taking the Jags. I'm taking the Broncos. Houston at Cleveland. We're both taking Cleveland. Vegas versus Pittsburgh. We're both taking the Raiders. LA versus Indy. You have the Colts. I have the Rams. New England versus New York. We both have the Pats. New Orleans versus Carolina. We're both taking the Saints. San Francisco versus Philly. We both have the 49ers. Atlanta versus Tampa. We're both taking the Bucks. Minnesota versus Arizona. We're both taking the Cardinals. Dallas versus LA. You have LA. You have Dallas. I have LA. Tennessee versus Seattle. You have Tennessee. I have Seattle. Chiefs versus Ravens. We're both taking KC. And then the Monday nighter, Detroit versus Green Bay. We're both taking Detroit, which I never thought I would say.
Yeah, fuck the Lions, but they got the spread.
100%. I'm just riding the spread this week.
God, you have to. I feel like this is in the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season, you really have to pay attention to what they're doing with the spread because they're clearly doing it for a reason.
100%.
I'm not a professional bettor or anything. I pride myself on not being a professional bettor, but it's one of those things where I feel like it definitely comes to common sense in the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
So put that into your bets for sure.
Yeah. I gotta ask you before we go, what's the biggest bet you've won?
I actually won $120 on a random soccer point spread while I was at work, not paying attention to it. Yeah, so I think it was like a 3 or 4 team. I had to pick who was winning and if it was over or under, and I picked all 5 correctly, and I won $120. That's my biggest bet. So nothing crazy, but that's my biggest one.
Off what?
The not point spread, but pro.
No. Like what did you put down?
$2.
Oh, that's a nice little parlay.
It was great.
My claim to fame is I went down to Niagara Falls once and I went to the sports book they have at Falls View Casino, and they had the Masters odds up, and I had just won $100 on the blackjack table. I'm like, fuck it. You know what? I'm putting $100 on Tiger to win the Masters at 14-1. Wins the fucking Masters 3 months later.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How much did you win?
1,400.
Oh my God, that's great.
It was awesome. I loved it.
Clearly,
it was great.
You can clearly see how dumb I am with it when it comes to math. So.
Oh, dude, I was hammered when I made that bet, man. It was like 3 a.m.
That's amazing.
And I had 19 rum and cokes at the blackjack table, so.
And they're all paid for.
No, so they don't. We can get into this a different time, but they don't give you free drinks at the casinos in Canada.
No, but your winnings paid for them.
Oh yeah, dude.
There you go, buddy.
I gotta take you to the casino. I run that blackjack table.
Well, yeah. Let me know. I'll be there.
Sounds good. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We're gonna do this every Wednesday night or Thursday morning or whenever the hell we feel like it, because we don't have a boss. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.